Hello again, Showcase Pro Wrestling fans. I am your Director of Talent Relations, Derek Moore, and welcome back to another edition of the Director's Cut. Let's have a look back at all the recent action right here at Showcase.
On January 8th, we were live at the SPW Arena in Woonsocket, Rhode Island, and the focus was heavily set on the tag team division. Fresh off their stunning upset over the Showcase Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions, The Fellowship, Nick Knight and Tyler Nitro have decided to join forces and take on all the tag team competition that Showcase has to offer. Their opponents for the evening would be the newly formed tag team of Devin Baker and Zach Ramos. It was apparent that both teams were there that night to make a name for themselves, as the competition would go back and forth for a majority of the contest. However, once the team of Knight and Nitro had momentum on their side, they would not let up. The two would go on to score the 1-2-3 pinfall to claim victory for the second consecutive time. Later that evening, the crowd would be graced by the presence of none other than the Middlesex Express, who feel they have been overlooked in the tag team division as of late. The Express took it upon themselves to voice their issues during an interview segment featuring Robbie the Giant Arujo. Their interruption of Robbie the Giant would end up leading to a big reveal. Showcase Pro Wrestling's own referee, Brian Partington, has been training with Robbie for the past few months, and the two would go on to lay down a challenge against the Middlesex Express, which was quickly accepted. It was obvious that Partington and Arujo have been putting in the ring time with one another, as they proved to be much more formidable opponents than the Middlesex Express expected. In the end, the in-ring tag team veteran savvy of the Middlesex Express would be too much for Partington and Arujo, and the Middlesex Express would go on to pick up the win. Sensational Scott Levesque was in action to begin making his rise back to the top of singles competition. He would go one-on-one with returning SPW veteran Dan Trainer, who believed Levesque would be the perfect opponent to make an impact against for his return. In what was a highly contested match of athleticism and technicality, it is clear that Scott Levesque is out to show everyone that sensational is more than just a tagline. Levesque, looking to prove why he belongs at the top ranks of Showcase Pro Wrestling, would go on to spoil the return of Dan Trainer, as he would win the match via pinfall. The night would feature Buck Nasty, who was looking to keep his undefeated ways alive as he competed in singles action against the Clinic Chris James. Chris James would fight valiantly against the undefeated Buck Nasty. However, Buck would go on to prove why he is one of, if not the most feared man in Showcase Pro Wrestling. He would make quick work of Chris James by way of the slop drop, which has defeated so many superstars in recent months. At the end of the contest, Buck would exclaim that if he did not receive his title shot soon, all of Showcase Pro Wrestling would suffer the same fate as Chris James. Is this what lies in store for whoever holds the championship after Benny Blanco and Sean Candido compete for our company's highest accolade? Only time will tell.
The one thing I can say, folks, is that Buck Nasty is certainly making a case for himself to challenge for the championship. However, Benny Blanco is still this company's #1 contender, and Buck Nasty is going to have to wait his turn. But that does it all for this week. Thank you very much for tuning in, and be sure to follow us on all social media at SP Wrestling, and be kept up to date with all our live events by visiting us at ShowcaseProWrestling.com. I'm your Director of Talent Relations, Derek Moore, and we'll see you next time.